Like my coffee, extra mad and bitter. And then they're loyal like juicer, yeah, the man's a quitter. He's strapped face up behind the platinum grill. I style faceless, just spit these mic skills. And in the street killer, I will not be denied. That I'm mic'd up, I raise my head with pride. A force of nature cruising the whip, doing walk-bys on your boulevard. Face my verbal clip. In this land of live streams, baby, I'm on the road. Got my feet on the media, scraping them up my soles. It's that umbrella guy facing the accusers. Cleated outside 14s, crushing all those losers. It's that umbrella guy, they said we couldn't make it. Never ask permission, just sense, I'll go and take it. The media buzzwords, they will never save you. Listen and believe is meant to enslave you. Challenging the hypocrites, and baby, I'm on fire. They flash titles like they're royalty, but it's true that I'm a journalist. Scribble nursey rhymes, one in this grill in a basket, with a tisket and a tasket, and their morals in a casket. No morals in a casket. They're always pushing make believe and weaving straw to gold, but I'm sick of all the fairy tales and buying what I'm sold. Strolling into the backyard, taking truth on tour, baby, there is sickness, and that umbrella guy's got the cure. Look, it's that umbrella guy knocking at the door. No more ministry of truth than the plot of 1984. They're dumping all my verbal clips, the case is filled with knowledge. They're on the mic like kindergarten, and I'm taking them to college. Why the mask, baby? Cause this has to be a crime. I'll take the mic and boom, there in the chalk outline. I used to throw elbows, but now I'm dropping nukes. You wrote another hit piece, isn't that cute? And the worst part, they'll never learn. Did the fourth estate start channeling crash and burn? They pretend that we need to get their permission. That umbrella guy crushing their ambitions. You're not my competition. It's that umbrella. It's that umbrella guy steamrolling them out for fun. Mic check, mic wreck, paging this army of one. There's no hesitation, no doubt, not even a scintilla. The Tokyo baby and me, I'm Godzilla. Crushing them like Godzilla, like Godzilla.
All right, what's up? How's it doing? How's it doing with? How's it going? How's it doing? Well, that's a way to start right off the bat. Oh man, tomorrow, big case, big court times, fun times indeed. There's so many people angling to cover in the mornings. At first I thought about covering, the live, but I'm going to talk about it that night. I think you let everybody. I mean, you got Dave and Megan. They're down at the courthouse. You have other people like streaming and whatnot. Me, I'm gonna watch it, and then we'll talk about it that night. Is regardless of how everything lines up, I'm feeling good about the amount of information they have. I just, court cases make me like, because ultimately it's, what's in the law, but there's a person interpreting that. So it always makes me think, oh, well, here's hoping. By the way, Carol, thanks for the 5 there. Big love to all the thugs. Thank you. Love to everybody out there too, and also Fallen Hero. Thank you for a gifted membership too. I appreciate that. Oh man, got Kangs. Thank you, welcome. Thank you for the membership. Welcome to Thugs too. Right off the bat there, appreciate that too. Thank you 3. Oh man, I'm gonna go over that last filing that came up. Somebody said they were surprised at the live streaming. Yeah, Flashcast. So I hosted Flashcast last night. Some people, I guess, don't know what Flashcast is, and that's okay. I go on with Yellow Flash, and a bunch of people that are basically like friends, and we goof off and talk about pop culture topics and other topics too. I actually got to bring this case up, and since I was in charge, I I got to bring it up. I got to bring up like baby reindeer and all of that stuff. Like that was actually pretty good to be able to throw in there. I can bring them up normally, but since I was in control of the panel, I got to decide how long we talked about it. Now I gave a quick overview. When you're this far into a case like the Clayton Echard stuff, it's difficult to give a brief synopsis and include everything. Oh, there go alarms. I always wonder, do you ever have your phone have an alarm on it and you're like, why in the heck do I have an alarm set for 6:32? I mean, it's a weird time, And it was set yesterday, which, it's not a mess up because I didn't get up that early this morning. The power actually went out last night. We had storms. Every time now storms hit here, power goes out. It's like clockwork. You ever wonder something like that? It's just, I know it's random, but I had an alarm go. I was like, what the heck? Why? 6:32 p.m.? And it was set yesterday. Why did I do that? Like that's a weird time. Like I don't get up in 6 on a regular day. I get up earlier than that. And today, considering the freaking Flashcast, by the time we wrapped everything and, you talked to everybody for a hot minute, it was like, 3 o'clock in the morning, and by the time, then I got to situate and settle for a little bit. So by the time I fell asleep, it was probably 4:15 or 4:30. So I slept for about 3 hours. Let's go over that freaking document though. I want to see it. What's up? Liz. How you doing, Liz, by the way? Thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. It is good to see you, by the way, Liz. Man, I love it when I, know people's names after a while, Like, that's one of the beautiful things about channel is getting to see who's out there, repeat folks, that are around. The people that are here all the time. Pops you mods, by the way. You don't get enough love, and you should. Let's check this document out, though. 1 second. I'm pulling it here. I'm gonna pull it off the Clayton's Justice. I thought, well, I could download, or I could give Clayton's Justice some love. There's I had a lot of people ask me too about an interview with the joke list. I sat down and tried to watch it, but it was boring. I mean, just to be honest, it was boring. It didn't add a lot for me. So I just I was like, okay, So I don't know what went on with it or anything. There wasn't a lot of excitement to it. I was expecting like some more, I guess, fire from the Jokalist, but I guess not. I got bored real fast though, and I mean, you can check it out. I forget the channel name, but you can check it out if you want. I'd forgotten all about it until God, is that Grant? Man, I can't even tell what the symbols are in there. Name that I can. How am I supposed to pronounce that? Tell me how to pronounce that. Thank you, welcome. Thank you for the membership. Welcome to Text Thugs. I'm curious how do I pronounce that? I was like, it's Grindle. Wait, no. Oh, what is it? Tracy, thanks for the 2 there. I can't find your P.O. box. Hit me up on the, hit me up on my email. I'll send you the thing, you know. It is Grindle? Okay. All right, that's good. Then that's what I was going to say. It just, look at it. It looks weird. Like the end, the way the symbol, you know, when I'm reading it in the chat, it looks just like it says Grindle. But if I'm reading it here, I don't know. It just, maybe it's the zoom on it. Maybe it's not zoomed enough. Maybe it's in some middle place. I don't know. But thank you for clarifying. That's what I thought at first. I was like, man, I actually got it right. So pretty good there. So let's check this out, though, here. Now, this was a last-minute filing, a very last-minute filing, which was kind of, I'm not surprised. I mean, that happens in trials anyway, but with this particular trial, you know, I expected things to go on until the last second, you know? So like I said, it didn't surprise me at all. But pursuant to Rule 76.1, blah, 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 Laura Owens hereby submits the following affidavit to her pretrial statement. This addendum addresses issues raised by Rule 76.1, contested issues of fact and law, and 76.1, another portion of it, exhibits and objections. To the extent necessary, Laura also moves the court to admit late disclosed evidence pursuant to Rule 76.1 as discussed below. Specifically, as the court will recall, on April 30th, 2024, Laura filed an emergency motion to strike and request for immediate telephonic scheduling conference. That pleading explained that earlier the same day, that would be again April the 30th, respondent Clayton Echard disclosed for the first time documents purporting to show Laura sent fake medical records to an ex-boyfriend named Michael Marancini. We're just going to call him Mike from now on because I don't want to read her name. I don't want to read his name like over and over. I don't really have to read Laura's either. I'm going to call her L-O or L. You know, maybe like the trial will come out. Oh, wait, did I say that out loud? I mean, allegedly. Wait, does that work under allegedly? L like the one she's taking, right? Giant L. Maybe. The motion strikes further explain Mr. Echard's motion is supported by dozens of pages of new documents, which he only disclosed for the first time today, April 30th, 2024. On May 2nd, 2024, Clayton filed a response opposing Laura's emergency motion to strike. In his response, Clayton claimed the medical records he disclosed on April 30th, 2024, the ones allegedly sent by Laura, L, to Mike, were not new, because he claimed the records are medical records and therefore not new to Laura. The next day, May the 3rd, L submits a reply in support of her emergency motion to strike. Taken to L, also filed an affidavit in which she attested unequivocally that the medical records attached to Clayton's April 30th, 2024, 7th supplemental disclosure were fake. She says they're fake. And yet, here's a fascinating little discussion that has come up about that. If you check out the texts that go back and forth, what you find is you find some of the documentation that's mentioned here and there in records and more. You actually can find this stuff yourself just by going through items. You know, her seeming go-to, though, has always been to call things fake. If she doesn't like what it says, it can't be real. Of course, it can't be real. Oops. Yeah, windy, by the way. Tomorrow should be interesting. Like Jenna, a chat. Yeah, tomorrow should be very, I think, interesting too. Hey, there. Thanks for the 2 months. Listen, while doing other things, Tug has long pauses. I think, oh, I lost him, and then you come back. Yeah, that's a mental health thing. When you work with people that don't agree on reality, what you want to do is you want to gauge the way that they respond. Like, I'm already Southern, so I already speak slow. But on top of that, you always, I've searched for words, like I want to say. And I searched for them a long time. Again, it's a thing that developed out of mental health. Because if I would hurry a statement, somebody that doesn't agree with you on reality, you never know how your words are going to go over. And you may need to change what you're saying mid-sentence. You may actually need to, and you really carefully need to choose your words with people like that. You also need to choose your words carefully with victims. You need to really think about what you're saying. So it's just a habit that I picked up. It's a habit like I did for a decade. So it's something that is not easily broken. It just becomes part of your thinking process. So yeah, long pauses there for sure. I notice them sometimes too. They can be frustrating sometimes because it's like a flipping like a mental Rolodex for freaking the right word that I want, or the way that I want to continue something. Which option do I choose? Life according to Martin. Thanks for the tea. You just know Jane Doe is going to do something. Something's going to happen tomorrow. It's going to be nutty. Something weird. I just have this idea. Rhea Rye, thanks for the 5 there. How much are we betting Elo? Throw a sickie and not turn up tomorrow. There'll be some shady dealings tomorrow. Hope she gets karma that's coming. I wonder how tomorrow will go. I mean, you don't show up. Yeah, that would be a real problem for her. She's already complained about the circus outside, I think she said. And we got the blog comparing her life to Black Mirror right now. So I mean, we've already had some strange happens, with her describing how everything's going, her setting the stage. So I do wonder. I figure, we'll get testimonial tears. I figure she'll be there. She will cry heavily. She will try to weaponize. Never underestimate the power of female tears. Never. Now the judge may not work. Never know, because I mean, we're not dealing with. If you got a male judge, that works out real well. But no matter what, courts are still swayed that way a lot of times. So there are a lot of X factors that come into this. And even if the court sees through everything, which you hope they do, I have no confidence anything will ever happen to Laura Owens. Why? Because I've watched too many false accusers walk away. But that's not how you have to look at this. What you have to look at it is vindication for a Clayton Echard. I feel that he's already been vindicated by everything that's been dug up. But, he's been vindicated in the court of social media. Because there's always 2 courts where this happens. One of them can destroy you utterly as far as your reputation, as far as you have any prospects or promise for the future. And he's already won there. Now, the other one, he's really won there too, in the fact that, I mean, what are they going to do to him? He's not the dad. There's no kid. So they can't really do anything to him. I mean, they can try to force some money out of him. But aside from that, what else can they do? That's why I think they're so hell-bent on threatening people with litigation. It's It's a two-prong thing. One prong of that, though, is being able to silence the vindication in the aftermath. You know, say she gets to walk away with something that's it's a pretty neutral decision, right? She'll definitely want people to sign, because again, this kind of thing, you know, allegations wise, this has been her life for a long time. If you look at all the other accusers there, I mean, we are talking about a lengthy amount of time. Multiple accusers for her. So, of course, they would want to silence that. That's why you need you kind of do need a court win. I think some of the decisions that have come in from the judge, I think how do you not see through it? But you can tell by some of the things that she's allowed. You can tell from the combination of the order, the protective order. You can tell that. You can also tell from the fact that the HIPAA releases, the way that those came up in the judge's decision when discussing medical records or the lack thereof. I mean, the judge is very aware that there are no medical records that back this position up. I always wonder the weight given to an expert witness. Expert witnesses, they can sway sometimes. The thing with an expert witness, they're just, every now and then they're useful, but more often than not, it's become a side market of its own. It's disgusting in its own way. Because people go out and they buy an opinion. They buy quote-unquote proof. They find somebody that will illustrate their point of view, but do it with, with expert credentials. And that's actually trash. That really bothers me in courtrooms. You know, we've seen good ones, and we've seen terrible ones. The thing is, sometimes the terrible ones can present as very rational, but all they are, they're guns for hire. You know, and that's always bothered me. So I'm hoping the judge sees through all of that. I mean, this judge, they've given me a bit of hope on that idea. I'm more positive, I guess, about the outcome of this than I typically am, but it's still, I can't say how things will come out. Again, I've seen enough court cases to know. But there are a lot of things in the way the judge has acted that if it's presented well tomorrow, I mean, how does she defend? You see her defense. She's trying to say, I filed this thinking that I was pregnant. There was no harm there done. I didn't mean to cause harm or anything else. That's going to be the defense. And depending on how everything's boiled down, it's going to be a heck of a show. That's for sure. What's up, Ian? Thanks for 5. Wow, just do Laura Owens, and the only thing that comes up is about a painter with her name from the 50s. Yeah, actually, like, what I had to search, so to find Megan Fox, I have to search the outlet. I have to search Laura Owens, PJ Media. Now, if I search Clayton Echard, I'll get the hits. But it is fascinating that Laura Owens doesn't come up along with Clayton Echard. That's one of the, I think that's been a downside to not utilizing her name, in fact. You know, for a long time, I understand why the choice was made with Dave Neal. You know, I definitely understand that. That is no shade toward him whatsoever. But I think that it has allowed her to duck out of some of the name connection or name association. It also, it's such a weird case, like weird cases. They typically, the media likes them, but sometimes they don't like cases like this where they have to admit there can be false allegations, for example. They don't like admitting that. And, I mean, when you're looking at something that involves paternity, even fake paternity, they'll cover it when it's safe to cover it. See, that's why I say, like, Dave Neal took a lot of risk covering this, and you've seen them go after him. You've seen them try to ruin him for it. Because the media will cover in the aftermath when they feel it's safe after a decision. They'll cover it from her side, too, before that, because they figure they're more likely to get away with whatever they say if they said something about Clayton Echard. They're just quoting another person. But anyway, let's continue this. She said that they're faked records. Laura further attested, quote, "I have no idea who created the fake records attached here to as Exhibit A. All I can say is that I did not create them. I have no idea who did. I've never sent them to anyone else because I never seen these documents prior to them being disclosed by Mr. Echard on April 30th, 2024. Days later, May 7th, 2024, that's just 3 days prior to the close of discovery, Clayton disclosed an additional 2,489 pages of documents, which he claimed were copies of text messages sent between Laura and Mike, 2016-2017. In effect, this data dump purported to show the full and complete exchange of text messages between Laura and Mike, as opposed to partial snippets disclosed April 30th. And sure enough, in this chain, the same fake records attached to Clayton's April 30th, 2024 disclosure statement. Here's one of them. So essentially what she's going with here is you can either believe the expert that came in, and now this is an expert with a good track record, okay? Like computer expert here. This computer expert is part of the Depp case. We got to look over his work quite a bit. And not from a bias standpoint, just from looking at the way he conducted his searches, the way that he actually presented evidence, the way that he said things that were backed up in the court. You saw items that were presented 2 times or more, for example. You know, he was pointing things like that out. You know, there are duplicates. There are issues with these things. And on this side, in this case, he's like, yeah, these are real. So you can either believe Laura Owens, whose own lawyer has told you that she has lied, but it doesn't matter because she came out and she was truthful later. Or not. You can choose to believe the person that actually looked at all of that. Now, for context, it continues here. The screenshot above purports to show a text message in a blue box which reads, "I'm sorry, I will be better at being a teammate." Above that blue box is some text which appears to represent metadata regarding the message, i.e. information showing the date, the time, the sender, and receipt of the message. Directly above the metadata is an image with a file name. Now, in the 2,500-page document disclosed by Clayton, this image is essentially illegible. It cannot be clicked or otherwise expanded for a clear. How the fuck do you think it's going to be clicked on in a document? What in the name of God? I mean, think about this. Think about what this just said to me. This is the dumbest statement I've ever seen in something. It's like, when I was reading that 2,500-page novel and I saw an image, it wasn't big enough for me. You know, I couldn't click on it and make it bigger. What's up, Clayton? You know, it's like, what? Wait a minute. Holy God. Things that make you go, ugh. That's the dumbest thing ever. Anyway, it can't be clicked or otherwise expanded on for a clearer view, and the text is too small to read. However, it appears this small thumbnail image is probably the same as a larger version that was attached to Clayton's April 30th, 2024 7th Supplemental Disclosure Statement. And you can see this. We've seen this quite a bit too. You know, I'm going to say it's it's pretty memorable because of the boyfriend statements. Give me 1 second. I'm going to look up something. Image defined. I'm curious about something. Here's what I don't understand, by the way. When you dump something into a text, you're not really presented the idea that you can enlarge a picture, like in DMs, you know, unless I'm using an app. If I'm using a DM, sometimes I can. It depends on how I throw that in there. It depends on what service. So for him to call it a thumbnail, I was like, well, is that really a thumbnail? Because a thumbnail is an image, you know, that'd be clickable. You can enlarge. Now we've gotten enlargements of it, but I'm curious about. I kind of want to look at what messenger they use too. I don't know. I just find it so dumb that he's like, you can't blow up paper. I'm like, you can blow up paper. Oh, but you can't make the image cleaner. Well, you've gotten the image cleaner before. Now, this specific ovarian cancer message, one of the documents Laura referenced in her May 2nd, 2024 affidavit, which she denied creating or sending to Mike. This creates an obvious concern. Either Laura lied in her affidavit when she said she did not fake ovarian cancer documents, or Clayton or someone on his team lied about the authenticity of text messages purportedly found on Mike's computer. Now, to help provide more context, attached here too as Exhibit A are 2 pages from the report of Clayton expert John Berryhill. Now, these 2 pages show the ovarian cancer thumbnail, the next message below, I'm sorry, I'll be a better teammate, and the prior message, which ends, we need to try to be teammates. I thought I heard a kid. Hey, is that you? What are you doing? I hear a little one messing with the door. Trying to see if she's trying to open the door. Again, if the documents disclosed by Clayton are genuine and authentic, they appear to show Laura did send the fake ovarian cancer document to Mike and lied about the fact in her May 2nd, 2024 affidavit. I'm going to have to switch over here real quick. I'm going to lock this in. Give me 1 second. Okay. It's essentially, though, don't believe that guy. Believe Laura. However, Laura maintains she didn't lie. In fact, in the course of preparing the trial, this matter, literally yesterday, that would be June the 6th, Laura discovered a screenshot of the original teammates text message exchange with Michael Maroncini. And guess what? The fake ovarian cancer document does not appear in the original message thread. You know you can delete the message out of there, right? You know you can actually delete something if you're the sender. It'll still show on the other side because it's already been sent. But you can delete something. Not saying that happened. Just saying you could, in effect, be presented this as legit and her have gone in and deleted something from that. You should try it. There will be no record whatsoever on your side that something was deleted. Now, I'm not saying people couldn't add something on the other side. But with the background for this person, I wonder which is more likely. That this is not correct. That she might add something. Again, did you have the original on hand, or did she send you a screenshot? Did you have access to her phone? Did you pull it straight off the device? And even then, I would want it looked at to see if something had been removed from the original. Because it would hold metadata there and still say that it was there. But see, that's one of the issues that you're going to run into. This also presents a fascinating thing, too. She's actually authenticating the majority of those messages by doing something like this. She's actually saying that these message exchanges did happen. Because at first, oh no, fake, fake, fake. And now it's like, well, part of it's fake. That one part that's damning is fake. The other part's okay, though. It's kind of fascinating, isn't it? Because it doesn't flow with her story. Like, it's been this ever-shifting story of pregnancy, not pregnancy, text messages, no text messages. I mean, it just keeps shifting. It keeps changing. But of course, last minute, you're not going to have a chance to check out this right here. You're never going to get access to the device, even if the court ordered the device be turned over. You never get access to the device. That was one of the things that I found fascinating in like the Depp v. Heard case. Heard didn't turn over her devices. I bring that up because of this. She was told she had to. She had to do stuff. She would not turn over things. And by the time the court actually looked at it, there was nothing you could do anymore. There was no way to go through and look at her devices in and of themselves. So she effectively ran out the meter on it. And guess what the court did? A whole lot of nothing. Even though they ordered that stuff be turned over, they didn't do anything for it. Wild, isn't it? Now, the problem here is obvious. Either the 2,500-page document produced by Clayton's expert is not authentic, or Laura's testimony and the above screenshot. So it is a screenshot. I'm sure the way, again, Gingras could correct me if I'm wrong on this. But again, if she's supplying a text message versus the 2,500-page document, that wasn't exactly... Remember, we had items that had been authenticated that were supposedly... Again, she's faked stuff before. She's denied stuff that we know is real. So when this pops up, you're going to take the screenshot above going in and actually looking at again. All of that, come on. But the question is, who's lying? Now, resolving that factual dispute is the job for the finder of fact, this court. But under a correct application of the rules of evidence, Clayton's 2,500-page document is clearly inadmissible in this proceeding. This conclusion is based on the classic best evidence rule, which provides an original writing, recorded photograph, or video is required in order to prove its content, unless these rules or an otherwise applicable statute provides otherwise. Now, there is wiggle room in that, which we have seen before. Sometimes there isn't an original anymore. You know, when you're talking about years and years ago, you may not be able to provide that to a court. You may, again, you have somebody, again, an expert, go through it. And ultimately, the judge gets to decide what is admissible. But it's fascinating to me to see that. To be sure, the very next rule of evidence, Rule 1003, I'm going to go with, does provide otherwise. The rules allows copies, duplicates to be admitted, except when there's a genuine question about the original's authenticity. So I just have to be like, that's a fake now. A duplicate is admissible to the same extent as the original, unless genuine concern is raised about the original's authenticity or the circumstances make it unfair to admit the duplicate. Here, there is clearly a genuine concern regarding the original's authenticity. So essentially, hey, I got this from somebody that I, as a lawyer, have admitted that is a liar. But that's all right because they admitted to it. So it's not anything that bad, right? And we wouldn't have time to go through and really correct this because this is the last-minute Hail Mary saying, you need to knock out all that other stuff. I mean, it's wild when you think about it. This attempt here. Here, there's clearly a genuine concern. Indeed, the original computer files used to create 2,500-page PDF document attached have never been disclosed, not even to this day. The only disclosure is a report which Mr. Berryhill claims contains copies of text messages found on Mike's laptop. But the laptop itself has never been disclosed, nor is the original iMessage data file containing the text messages themselves. Furthermore, the quote-unquote circumstances of this disclosure could not be more patently unfair. Rather than disclosing information in a timely manner, they've tried this before already. They've tried the timely manner argument. Clayton waited until 3 days before the close of discovery to dump this massive amount of data on Laura. Now, they also have a footnote here that was talking about the expert. Clayton's expert, John Berryhill, may certainly qualify as an expert in certain fields. However, Mr. Berryhill does not appear to be offering any expert opinions. Rather, he is testifying about information he claims to have found on Mike's laptop. As such, Mr. Berryhill is not offering any expert opinions under Rule 702, Rules of Evidence. Rather, he is offering testimony as a normal a fact witness based on his alleged personal knowledge of the matters he observed. Man, they are desperate to knock that out. You know why they're desperate to knock stuff like this out? Because it is damning. Because what it says is that this wasn't good faith. What it says is that it wasn't even limited to Clayton Echard. Like when you think about it, it opens her up for doing a long con on many people. And that is a problem, and a big problem for her. You can feel like just the desperation. And there have been a lot of documents that have looked like this. They have felt really desperate. So perhaps in other circumstances, these concerns would not be substantial. But in this case, there's a very real concern about trusting evidence from either party. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. There's a giant concern about trusting Laura. Why would we? Oh, wait, check this out here. This is in her own statements. I mean, this is wild to see here. Listen to this. Laura has openly admitted to editing at least 2 documents, a sonogram from Planned Parenthood and an HCG test from any lab test now, neither of which were ever used as genuine evidence in this case or any other court proceeding, although she maintains those documents are immaterial to any issue in this case other than her credibility. So the argument there is, yeah, she edited stuff for sure, but it's not a big deal. It's wild when your own attorney has to put in, not, you can't trust the other person over there. No. You can't trust either person. Therefore, don't trust them. You can't trust my client, but you can't trust them either. I mean, that's because the document, the sonogram, is a problem. It is a big problem, one that they have sought to minimize again and again. But they're telling you right there, it's not such a big deal. Yeah, it is. It is a big deal. A very big deal. At the same time, too, as the court will learn at trial, there is clear and compelling evidence that Clayton has made false statements to Laura. Oh, you mean you're saying that to Laura herself, the person he thinks is batshit crazy, he wasn't just, oh man, let's be truthful buddies and pals. Oh man. I mean, the idea there, it's like she lied about evidence that could be utilized in this case. It's not genuine evidence. Oh no, it's just medical records, that go to the issue at hand. But Clayton lied to her. Wow, man. Ugh. I got a kiddo coming. Give me 1 second.
Mac and cheese.
We'll make some in just a few minutes, okay? Come here for a second. Here, we'll make some in a few minutes. I'll set it right here, okay? So I don't lose it, though. All right? I'll make it so I don't lose it. Give me 5. Yeah. Hey, wait. And the next thing, do you want mac and cheese or do you want popcorn?
Eeny, meeny, miny.
Oh, you're going to eeny, meeny, miny, moe it? Which one? Which one did it pick? Okay. We'll do that in a little bit, then. Take it out. Take it out. Or actually, go tell Sissy to put it in right now, or we'll do it in a little bit. Okay? Go tell her. Say, Dad said. All right. That's funny. She eeny, meeny, miny, moes everything these days. Like, what do I want to do? Oh, I'm going to eeny, meeny, miny, moe it. She's funny there. Anyway. Now for, here we are. More concerning, there's clear evidence Clayton's counsel has made knowingly false material representations to this court in pleadings filed in this case. He keeps trying to go after the wording. Oh, the way they worded that's not fair. It's not right. They called her a liar. Said that, her arts and crafts that she's put together. And it's like, okay, I hear you. For those reasons, this court simply cannot assume the veracity of the 2,500-page PDF report produced by Clayton. Only the original computer file will suffice. Indeed, the PDF itself was produced in an entirely insecure manner, i.e., the PDF was not locked or protected against modification, which could and should easily have been done. Are you fucking kidding me? So they're like, yeah, the expert, when he made this, well, he didn't lock the PDF file. So someone could have come in and actually changed that up. Are you fucking kidding me? I mean, that is so ridiculous. There are some ridiculous arguments, and they really go to desperation, too. They do. They really go to desperation. I can hear her yelling at her sister. Oh, that's funny. In plain English, this means anyone with a common PDF software can open it, the document and change the content, like the example shown below, created by undersigned counsel. Someone faked this. Oh, wow. You know what? You know how douchey this is, by the way? There are programs that allow you to unlock PDF files. I know this because for work, I've had to actually go in and somebody's no longer with your company and you need to get into something. And if you don't know the password that they've put on a file, like they've locked it down, there are items, they can strip any PDF file of a password. I've had to do that with a tax document years ago. I got a digital document and I couldn't remember the freaking password on it. It's kind of funny to see how this stuff is represented there. Because the contents of the PDF can be changed by anyone at any time, and because the original files, or data files rather, used to create the PDF were not produced, this means the exhibit is inadmissible.
Locked her door. I think that's a no.
Okay, well, I'll make them in a few minutes, okay? Here, I'll make them in a few minutes. Well, you can ask Sissy, but I can't ask her right this minute. I'll make it in a few minutes.
Can you call her?
No, what? I can't make it right this minute. You just ate. You just ate twice. You're like an eating machine. I'm gonna have to go. I guess put somebody to bed because they are very moody. give me 1 minute. No, I heard you yelling at Sissy. I heard you screaming upstairs. You got that tired look.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second. Yeah, see, exactly. I'm tired. I'll be right back. It'll just take me a minute. I'm gonna leave silence for a second. Sorry about that. That's no, she just ate. She'll ask for like all kinds of stuff, and she won't eat it. She'll just leave it in there. She'll eat like 2 macaroni bites. We'll make it in a minute, and then because I need to sit there and make sure that you'll actually eat it, and because we already ate. We ate, and then I made her some more food. So we had like 2 meals basically. That's why I asked her if she wanted popcorn, later on. But she's tired. She's been going all day. I heard her yelling at her sister. She was like, "Wow." Oh, they're funny though. Anyway, for the reasons stated above, I told her, let's go to the bed. She's like, she took off like a rabbit. She's like, I'll go lay down myself. I was like, oh, okay. We'll see how that works. I told her I would, because it's a little early, but man, she's tired. Anyway, for the reasons stated above, she hereby supplements her previous objections to admissions of any part of the 2,500-page PDF. Attachment. I skipped a sentence here. I missed this part. I wanted you to hear this right here. The rules of evidence and basic common sense do not permit such an important issue to be based entirely on one party or lawyer saying, "Trust me, Judge. You can take my word for it. Just don't fact check me." Do you want people fact checking, Laura? Is that really what they want? Do they really want Laura fact checked? I mean, that's the funny thing. A grown girl needs to eat a lot. Yeah, you got to make sure she eats, though. That's the thing. When she's asking for mac and cheese, she needs something better than that. We actually have more food. She doesn't want to eat she's got food upstairs still, where she didn't eat what we cooked, She's like, give me something else. So part of that is, you know. I guess that was her third helping of it. So we'll see. I think she went to go eat it, you know. Like I said, we'll see. Yeah, she eats like a dump truck, you know. Those little ones, they eat, oh my God, they eat so much, you know, which is good. But mac and cheese is so terrible for you anyway. I don't like having stuff like that, you know, there's no real nutrient in it, you know. Exhibit A. You see the exhibits for the text exchanges they're actually talking about with here, what they're trying to put in. And it's fascinating because the deadline, like this person says here, the deadline on this, it's not only been passed, it's been passed a long time ago. They just decided, I mean, you think about this. They decided to file this at the last minute. They dated it June the 7th with a trial date of June the 10th. Discovery has been cut off for weeks now. They're just trying to force something in at the last minute to try to basically cast a little bit of doubt on something that they're afraid of. It gives you an idea of what they are afraid of in this, though. That last minute maneuvering. You know, and she basically, her moves with her lawyer made this happen. Like, that's the craziest thing about it. If her lawyer would not have gone after these people publicly, not tried to, you know, call them out, shame them, treat them like absolute trash, this would not have happened. This stuff, it would have been between Clayton Echard and it would have been with Laura Owens, and that's it. But the lawyer themselves motivated people, called them out, treated them like trash, and it astounds me. It astounds me when I look at this, because you can tell when you look at it again, you look at what they're trying to shut down. The reason they're doing this is because something like this, it blows apart the whole idea that she was doing things with good faith. If she's making fake documentation, she's presenting it to other people, she has a narrative that she's stuck to again and again. Remember, she argued the fact that none of these people that were claimants in the past, they have nothing to do with one another. The similarities there, that's all in your mind. She says everything that looks similar in her life, that's just coincidence. Because sure, she's had bad relations, and sure, you know, she's had to get protective orders and threaten every guy that she admits to having relations with in this chain of people going forward, but that doesn't actually matter. I mean, it's wild when you think about that. So, of course, she doesn't want that coming in the courtroom. That's why they fought so hard. That's why with Mike, they threatened to have him arrested if he walked into the courtroom. Despite the fact that there's a subpoena. They were threatening to have him arrested. Essentially as a breaking a protective order in another state. I mean, imagine how crazy that is. Have you heard people doing that, really? That doesn't happen. That's witness intimidation. Like, how is it not? I mean, if you're taking aim at witnesses and being like, yeah, I'm gonna have you arrested for doing the very thing that's being asked of you in this court. If this case goes a specific way too, Laura also understands that this could be a chain reaction for her. Because all the things that she's done in the past, they could actually come back and bite her hard. Mike Mancini, I mean, it opens up, it potentially opens up arguments for him to be able to go in and to order and to argue against the protective order. I mean, if the protective order gets lifted with Clayton Echard, saying that she filed that in some erroneous fashion, yeah, that's a real problem. That is a real problem. It also opens her up to civil liability. So it's not just, a lot of people focus on the destruction of a narrative that has existed, the public shaming that will come with it, because of the exposure. But it would be more than that. The civil liability component is very real. If you've gone in after somebody, you forced a 8-year plus protective order, and that was found to have issues. I mean, that's a hefty check right there if they want it. And other people, again, you can see why. Like this case right here it's big time for Laura Owens. And it's not just big time for the narrative or for Clayton Echard. It's big time for everything that's happened in the past and how that's going to affect the future. It's going to be fascinating to see how it plays out, too. I haven't looked at... Let me see if old Gingrich is actually doing any last-minute arguing. I haven't looked in a hot minute. What in the world? Oh my God. Check this out here. Look, he's arguing another case, but he's arguing this one too, so check this out. It hooks to what he's talking about here. So he's actually, we're going to look at the wording, but 12 hours ago, he was talking about Young Thug's lawyer. Talking about lies, hiding stuff. And what does he have to say? Listen to this. This is fascinating, isn't it? I always tell opposing counsel I have 2 rules. No lies ever. And everyone follows the rules. Huh. No lies ever? Really? None? So if somebody were to, say, have lied and been the person you're representing now, is that a problem? Because I just read your filing. And you openly admitted that your client is a liar. You told the court, can't believe either person because your client is a liar. So your own rules there. But he's like, agree with those and we'll get along great. Break either and we have a problem. Glad to see I'm not the only one that feels this way. It's like, are you kidding me, dude? It's such a fucking farce. All of it. And FYI, I was on law review for 2 years as an editor, and I was trained to follow the Blue Book for legal writing. The Blue Book rules are very clear. You never use an ellipses to begin a quote. Oh, no. I look at people are like, why don't you shut up? I mean, like, oh man, there's a like there. He's like, 3 days without tweeting, excluding replies. That's not bad for me. By the way, here's some last minute record keeping. There was the document we read. But he's patting himself on the back for not shooting his own case in the foot for 3 days. It's too bad you couldn't keep your fucking mouth shut for the month before that, right? Because if you could have done that, could you imagine? Could you imagine? I think this trial, it's a fascinating one. It is a fascinating one. And it is going to be, it's going to be ugly when it comes up. But anyway, I'm going to end here. We will definitely talk about this tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be an insane day. This has been a shorter live stream. I don't stream that often on Sundays, but I really wanted to get that in before the trial came up because of that last document. Again, they tried to speed run a document, into the courtroom. Like nobody's going to see what they're doing here. That's so weird. But anyway, I'm going to go make popcorn or something. I'm sure that's where we land. I'll catch y'all later.